नमस्कार विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, आता आपण इयत्ता 8वी जनरल सायन्सचा अभ्यास करायचा आहे, म्हणजे सामान्य विज्ञान याचा अभ्यास करायचा आहे। आता या जनरल सायन्स किंवा सामान्य विज्ञान याच्यामध्ये पहिलं प्रकरण आहे चॅप्टर नंबर 1, लिव्हिंग वर्ल्ड अँड क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ मायक्रोब्स। लिव्हिंग वर्ल्ड म्हणजे तुम्हाला माहिती आहे सर्वांना, the living organism. Now, by using that information, we are going to classify the microbes, means microorganisms. Microorganisms is abbreviated as microbes. Therefore, the term is used. Now, till this date, you have studied the different types of cells, plant cells, animal cells, different other types of cells also you have studied. And depending on that, now we are going to classify the entire living world in a system, and that system is to be introduced here first. Suppose this is the living organisms, group of all the living organisms. These living organisms are classified into two groups, that means in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. What is the meaning of prokaryote and eukaryote? The meaning is pro means primitive. Pro means primitive. And karyon means nucleus. The nucleus is of primitive type. That means the nucleus is a nuclear membrane, but the nucleus is present, that is nuclear material, DNA, RNA, whatever may be there, that is present, but nuclear membrane is absent. It is not bound by the nuclear membrane. That means the nuclear material remains spread into the cell cytoplasm. Therefore, this type of cell is known as prokaryotic cell. And the organisms which are having the prokaryotic cells, these are known as prokaryotes. Next type is eukaryotic. Eu means true and karyon means nucleus. The organisms which have the cells in which there is true nucleus, that means nuclear material is bound in a membrane. That means a true nucleus, visible nucleus is present in this. Therefore, in Marathi, these prokaryotes are also known as आदि केंद्रकी, म्हणजे केंद्रकाचा पूर्ण विकास झालेला नाही अशा अवस्थेतलं केंद्रक असलेल्या पेशी, अशा असलेले सजीव. आणि यूकॅरियोट्स मीन्स दृश्य केंद्रकी, म्हणजे ज्यांचं केंद्रक दिसतो त्यांना दृश्य केंद्रकी असं म्हणतात. Now, what happens is in the prokaryotes, all the cells or all the organisms are unicellular. That means they are of single cell. And in this, only a single kingdom Monera is present. But in eukaryotes, these are the developed organisms, and therefore they have different types of varieties, in which again there are a unicellular type of cells or unicellular types of organisms and multicellular types of organisms. In these unicellular organisms, next is kingdom second, that is Protista. Here these are unicellular, but these are not having the primitive type nucleus. These are having the true nucleus, that is nucleus is membrane bound. Next one is multicellular organisms. That means the organisms which are highly developed and they have many cells in the body. That means the body is made up of many cells. प्रचंड मोठ्या संख्येने पेशी एकत्र येऊन त्यांचं शरीर बनतं आणि म्हणून त्यांना मल्टीसेल्युलर किंवा बहुपेशीय सजीव असं आपण म्हणतो. आणि या बहुपेशीयमध्ये म्हणजे मल्टीसेल्युलर ऑर्गॅनिझम्स जे आहेत यांच्यामध्ये नंबर 1 देर इज थर्ड किंगडम, किंगडम फंजाय, ज्याला मराठीमध्ये आपण कवक म्हणूया. नेक्स्ट इज किंगडम प्लांटी which are autotrophic in nature, and next is kingdom number 5 Animalia, which are predators. They consume the other organisms. They are not autotrophic, they are heterotrophic. That means they gain their food from the producers. Therefore, such here we have studied 5 types of kingdom are there. Kingdom number 1 Monera, next is Protista, next is Fungi, next is Plantae, and next is Animalia. Thus the 5 kingdom are there, and this 5 kingdom system is suggested by R.H. Whittaker. This cell is with cell wall, and that cell wall is made up of chitin. Now in plants also the cell is covered with the cell wall, but here the cell wall is made up of the cellulose. And in kingdom Animalia, outside the cell there isn't any cell wall. H. Whittaker considered some criteria for the classification of living organisms, in which the first criteria for classification is considered as complexity of the cell structure. That means this cell either is of prokaryotic in nature or it is eukaryotic in nature. Second criteria is complexity of the organisms. That means if the organism is with single cell, then he considered it as the unicellular organisms, and another type is of multicellular organisms. Then mode of nutrition. Here mode of nutrition is autotrophic or heterotrophic, saprotrophic, or different types of symbiotic systems may be there like this. Next is lifestyle. In this lifestyle, that means their role in the ecosystem. That means either they may be producers like plants, they may be consumers, or they may be carnivores, they may be decomposers like this. And next is phylogenetic relationship. That means the relationship between the prokaryotes and eukaryotes, the relationship between the unicellulars and the multicellulars like this. The relation between these two is considered in this phylogenetic. Here you can see the members of kingdom Monera, and here the all types of bacteria are present in this kingdom Monera. Now the characteristics of all these organisms is they are all unicellular. A single cell is present in a body. They are maybe autotrophic or heterotrophic. The autotrophic organisms can have chlorophyll like pigment and they can produce their own food material. These are prokaryotic cells without distinct nucleus or without any cell organelles. No cell organelle is found or observed in these organisms. Here there is this Streptococcus pneumoniae, the organism which is responsible for the pneumonia is shown here, which is in a bunch system. Likewise, these all Clostridium botulinum, Salmonella typhi, then Vibrio cholerae, like this. These all are the members of kingdom Monera. Now, this chart shows the members of kingdom Protista. Actually, we should prepare these small slides or temporary slides of the mud water or pond water, etc. But at present, this is not possible because we have to observe these organisms under microscope, and that is difficult at present conditions. In classrooms or in laboratories we can perform this experiment, but till then we are going to observe these organisms. You can also search on the internet by using the Google search engine. Now, this is the kingdom Protista. In this Protista, these are all the organisms are single celled. That means unicellular condition is there. They are eukaryotes. That means the nucleus is clearly visible in these cells. Nucleus is clearly visible. Therefore, these are known as eukaryotes. Nuclear membrane is prominent. Therefore, it is known as eukaryotes. Then some have pseudopodia like amoeba. These are the pseudopodia, and these pseudopodia are used for the locomotion from one place to another place. Also, these pseudopodia will grow around a food material. They again fuse in the distal part, and they can engulf the bacteria like organisms and consume them, and they will get food. Some are like this. Some are having the flagella. This Euglena like animal is having the flagella, and this flagella, when is moved, this organism moves in forward direction. It will act like a whip. Euglena is autotrophic, while others are not autotrophic. Volvox also is autotrophic. Euglena is also autotrophic. Amoeba, Paramecium, this is Paramecium. These are heterotrophic. They will get their food from the other organisms, very small organisms like bacteria. This is the food vacuole from which the food is digested and the material is absorbed into the cell. This is the contractile vacuole, that is the excretory organ is present. Here we are going to study the kingdom fungi, and in this kingdom fungi the image shown is of mucor or rhizopus, and this fungi shows a filamentous structure like this, and to this filamentous structure the sporangiophore is rising in upward direction. This sporangiophore is a stalk-like part which bears the sporangium. Sporangium is at the tip of the sporangiophore, and at the base there is the apophysis, columella which supports the sporangium, and hypha is present at the base region, and to this hypha, for the support to the substratum, there are the rhizoids. This is a typical example of the kingdom fungi. These kingdom fungi have a typical characteristics. These are non-green organisms. That means they will not produce their food material by their own. They are heterotrophic. They are eukaryotic. Nucleus is clearly visible in these organisms. These are mostly saprophytic or saprotrophic. Saprotrophic or saprophytic means they feed on the dead matter. Dead matter means the matter which is getting decomposed. That is known as the dead matter. They feed upon the decaying organic matter. Their cell wall is made up of tough complex sugar called as chitin. Some fungi are thread-like and many nuclei are present in the cytoplasm. That means no septum is present, no separation is there. In this entire body, many nuclei may present sequentially, and that condition is known as multinucleate condition. Examples of this is as shown is Mucor, and other examples are Baker's yeast, Aspergillus, then other examples are penicillin, mushroom, etc. that we will see in next slide. Here you can see the other types of fungi. This is the mushroom and this is the Aspergillus fungus. Here now we are going to study about the bacteria. The bacteria are smaller in size. This size is written here 1 micrometer to 10 micrometer, within that range. These are unicellular, they are independent or freely living, or may be parasitic, that means they live in the living organisms and cause harm to the host cell. They are sometimes together forming the colonies. Bacterial cell is prokaryotic cell. Nucleus is not clearly visible. Nuclear material is there, but nuclear membrane is absent. Therefore, these are called as prokaryotic cells. They have the cell wall, but other cell organelles are not present in these cells. They produce by simple binary fission, that means they get divided into two cells in a single division, and that rate of division may be of 20 minutes. That means in a 20-minute interval of time, from one cell it will get converted into, or it will get doubled into two cells. In next 20 minutes from 2 to 4, in next 20 minutes from 4 to 8, like this. The rate of reproduction is there in favorable conditions. Okay. Now next type of microorganisms is protozoa. In this protozoa, the size is approximately about 200 micrometers. Consider that our human eyes can recognize or can resolve the 100 micrometer size, and this is of 200 micrometers. That means we can see these organisms from moving one place to another place in water, but cannot see clearly. Okay, so this is the size. Protozoans are found in soil, moist soil, in fresh water, or in seawater, etc. Some may be found in the other organisms as parasites, like these organisms. Paramecium is free living one. Okay, these are unicellular organisms, but these are eukaryotic. Nucleus is clearly visible here. Okay, nuclear membrane is present. They have great variation in the cell structure. Organs of locomotion are there. In Euglena-like organisms, flagella is there. In Paramecium, there are the cilia are there. In other organisms, the pseudopodia-like structures are there. And Plasmodium doesn't have the locomotory organ like this. These organisms reproduce by simple cell division. Examples are amoeba, Paramecium, then Entamoeba histolytica, and Plasmodium vivax, which causes the malaria. These are the examples. And Euglena is autotrophic in nature. The next type of organism is fungi. The fungi are having this size range of 10 micrometers to 100 micrometers. And here the example shown is of yeast cell, Saccharomyces. The peculiar characteristics of these fungi are they are found in decaying organic matter, and on the bodies of the plants and animals. Living plant, animal can also get infected by these organisms. They are eukaryotic organisms, that means nucleus is clearly visible in these organisms. These are unicellulars and visible with naked eyes because of the size. These are saprotrophic, that means they are feeding on the dead organisms or the dead decaying organic matter. They reproduce sexually or asexually. Asexual mode of reproduction may be of cell division or of budding type of process. Here the budding process is shown in Saccharomyces. Example is this Baker's yeast, and previously we have seen the mushroom, mucor, etc. These are the examples of this fungi. Next is algae. Their size is ranging between 10 micrometers to 100 micrometers again. And these are aquatic, these are eukaryotic, unicellular, autotrophic organisms. They are able to produce their food material by their own by using the chlorophyll pigment. Photosynthesis is carried out with the help of chlorophyll in chloroplasts. Examples of this is alga, chlorella, Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, etc. And next type is of viruses. Viruses are ranging in the size range of 10 nanometers to 100 nanometers, very small in size. Compare between the nanometer and micrometers, 1000 times smaller than the micrometers. These are the viruses. And now a peculiar characteristic of these viruses are they don't have cellular structure. That means they will not show the cell structure, but instead only nuclear material in the form of DNA or RNA is present, and that DNA or RNA is covered with the protein coat or the protein capsid structure only. No cell-like structure. Therefore, they are considered to be non-living things because no cell structure. They will not feed on any material. They will not require any type of nutrition. They can remain as it is outside the cell body or outside the any organic matter, etc. because they doesn't need nutrition. But whenever they come in contact with the living cells, they get entry into the living cells. The nuclear material of these viruses gets entry into the living cell, takes the control of the host's genetic material, and they make the copies of proteins of their own, and when they get reassembled, then the virus is formed and they will come out of the cell by bursting the cell. This is the life cycle of the viruses. Therefore, virus individually is not considered as the living organisms, but they are considered as independent particles. They may contain DNA or RNA as their nucleic material. And viruses survive only in living plant or animal cells and produce their own proteins, as I have stated earlier, and they can form the copies and come out of the host cell. They may cause various types of diseases in plants and animals. Here, tomato wilt virus is shown, which causes tomato wilt disease in the plant. Some few examples of the viruses are shown here. Poliovirus. It is having the size of 28 nanometers approximately. AIDS virus is ranging between the 100 nanometer to 120 nanometer size, and recently coronavirus is ranging from 80 to 220 nanometers size, due to which now we are facing the problem COVID-19 disease, deadly disease. Okay. Likewise, we have studied about the microorganisms. Thank you.